Hello, welcome back to our business tracker series. If you have already watched our videos on the other tabs, such as the sales, the inventory, and the expenses tab, that is great. If not, you can take a pause here and tap the link at the top right corner of your screen so you can catch up on that. Today, we are going to explore the payment tab. This tab is one of the most important tabs in your business tracker. This is because it shows exactly how money is moving in and out of your business. It tells you what cash you have received, what payments are still outstanding, and what you have already paid out. Understanding this tab properly will ensure that your dashboard always reflects the true state of your business finances. Now, the payment tab is full of features that are going to help you to enter your data correctly. Whenever you need to fill a particular column, the relevant cell will be flagged. So that is going to give you a visual reminder that will make sure that you don't miss any important detail and that all calculations in the dashboard are very accurate. Let's take a moment to understand why the payment tab is so important in your business tracker. The sales tab shows you what products or services that you have sold out, but it doesn't track how much money you have actually received. The expenses tab as well records what money you have spent, but it doesn't show whether the payment has already gone out. Likewise, the inventory tab shows your stock purchases and their cost, but not the actual cash movement. So the payment tab solves all this problem. It is where you record the actual money that you have received from sales, the money paid for expenses, and money spent on inventory. So it also helps you track outstanding payments so you know exactly what clients still owe you and what you still owe your suppliers. So this tab is essential for ensuring that your dashboard reflects the real cash flow of your business. Now, before you start entering your own transactions, make sure that your payment tab is ready for new data. You may keep your own copy of the tracker open so that you can follow along step by step. So the first thing that you need to do is clear any demo data from the tab. So this is going to ensure that you have a fresh page to start entering your own real data. So while you are clearing the demo data, you have to be very careful not to delete the drop down columns. So this column include that of column E that works for the payment nature. So we have another drop down column in column K. So that is for payment method. And we also add in column L for payment status. So all these drop downs are essential for the tab to work correctly. They should not be deleted. So rather than deleting them, you should only reset those active rows, reset them to their placeholder options. You also need to be careful not to delete formulas in the gray columns while clearing your demo data. So these formulas are usually stored in row 7. So they are stored in row 7 of the gray columns and they calculate the figures that feed directly into your dashboard. If a formula is accidentally deleted or probably removed by mistake, you can always restore it by going to the settings tab and clicking the arrow formula button. So once you click this button, it is going to restore all the formulas that has been deleted. So it is going to ensure that your dashboard updates correctly. Now, let's look at a practical example using the inventory tab. Before we make any edits, let's take a quick look at the dashboard. As you can see here, all the cash analysis sections are currently showing zero. This simply means that no sales or expenses have been recorded yet. And it also means that no payment of any kind have been entered. In other words, the business has not logged any cash movement so far. And let's see what happens once entries are made. As we can see here on the inventory tab, the first stock entry was made on 20th October 2025. So we are going to enter the same date in the payment tab. Immediately, the serial number and the auto ID columns generates automatically, and the amount column is flagged, indicating that it needs to be filled. In the inventory tab, we purchased 100 units of product 1 with a unit cost of $10,000. So the expected payment amount is $1 million. Once this amount is entered in the payment tab, three other columns are flagged. So that is going to show which fields are relevant for dashboard cash flow analysis. Next, in the payment nature column, you select inventory purchase from the drop-down. This will be treated as an outgoing payment. Under payment status, if the full payment to the supplier has been made, you select completed. Once this is done, the net payment column automatically displays the figure from the amount column as a negative number. That indicates that it is an outgoing cash. You don't need to do anything with that column. It is used to calculate outstanding payments, which we are going to discuss in detail later. For the linked transaction ID, copy the stock ID from the inventory tab, then paste it using paste special and values only. This ID links the payment to its source, ensuring accurate calculations for any outstanding payments if full payment hasn't been made yet. Now, let's go back to the dashboard to see what has changed. Remember to select the correct month and year at the top section of your dashboard. So this is going to ensure that you are viewing the accurate figures for the period under review. Now, as we can see here, gross outgoing payments is still showing zero. So what this simply means is that no actual expenses have been recorded yet. So we should remember that inventory purchases count as assets, not expenses. So outstanding outgoing payments also remains zero. So this tells us that the payment for this stock purchase was made in full. Nothing is owed. Cash outflow now shows $1 million. This represents the real cash that left the business when when we paid the supplier. Then under the paid to column, so this column is only useful for outgoing payments. You can enter supplier A, which happens to be the name of the supplier for this particular stock purchase. In payment description, you can enter inventory purchase. For payment method, select how the payment was made, if it is cash or bank transfer or any other method. So this column is not analyzed in the dashboard. It is optional. In the reference ID column, you can enter a bank or transaction reference number if available. And in the note column, you can add a brief comment like paid amount in full or anything that works with the transaction. Remember that only the red flag columns are required for your dashboard analysis. Other columns are optional but useful for your records and reference. Now, let's move on to an example that involves sales. As we can see in the sales tab, on the 21st of October 2025, we have a transaction here that involves product 1 being sold to demo client 1 for $1,200,000. So in your payment tab, just go straight and enter the same date. Then we enter the amount that was paid by the clients under the amount column. So in this case, it is $200,000. That is the amount that was paid by the client. Under payment nature, select incoming. So the money is coming into your business. So this time around, we are going to select incoming under this column. Then under payment status, you select completed if the whole amount is paid in full by the client. You select completed. So all these columns are very, very necessary for accurate dashboard tracking. Then the net payment column will automatically display a positive number. So this is going to indicate that the cash is received. So remember that this column is not to be edited manually. Then next thing is that you go and copy the transaction ID from the sales tab and paste it in the linked transaction ID column in the payment in the payment tab. This is going to ensure that the payment is correctly linked to the original sales transaction for accurate tracking. Then in the received from column, enter the client's name, which in this case is demo client 1. It is important to clarify that the client name here is optional. Not every business owner are interested in names of clients. So that is why this column is optional. If you move straight to the payment description column, here you just need to write a short description that describes your transaction. Probably you can enter something like product 1 sale. Then under the payment method, you select the method that was used for the payment. If it is cash, if it is bank transfer, this is where you make your selection. Then, if applicable, you can also fill in a reference ID for your records. So this is necessary if the payment involves probably bank transfer or things like that. And finally, you add a brief note for clarity if needed. Remember that only the flagged columns are required for accurate dashboard analysis. The other columns are optional but help maintain thorough records. I actually don't want this video to be unnecessarily too long. So I'm going to split this tutorial into two so that it becomes more comfortable for you to go through each part of it. Now that you understand how to record your inventory and sales payments and how each entry affects your cash flow, you are already halfway to mastering the payments tab. But trust me, the real power of this tab begins in part 2. That is where we break down expenses, partial payments, outstanding balances, full settlements, and how every update reflects instantly on your dashboard. If you want to properly track what you owe, what people owe you, and how money actually moves in and out of your business, then do not skip part 2. It is going to change the way you manage your cash flow forever. I sincerely thank you for watching part 1 of this tutorial. If you found this video helpful, give it a like so that more business owners can discover this free Google Sheets tracker. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because part 2 is coming up next and you actually do not want to miss it. Thank you very much. God bless you and see you in the next video.